I got a bunch of bifacing to do for a lot of items I've got on my to-do list. So I might as well capture some of it on film. Trying to figure out what to film, but I don't need to do anything special, I suppose. And I won't be able to film very much next week because I'll be traveling. So I got to do a lot of napping this week. This is high quality Georgetown. And even though spalling is a little bit easier than thinning, it's still kind of a delicate operation because it can snap, especially with this high quality stuff. You can just snap in half, even when it's really thick. So I'm going to do the swiping thing because it's more gentle than trying to use the gouging technique. And if you've watched my previous videos, you'll hear me talk about it. But basically, the swiping technique just drags along the edge that you hit while it's on the slide, and it pushes off a thin but usually long flake in comparison to hitting with the corner of the billet. Okay? Hitting with the corner will gouge out a flake. And yeah, you can produce long flakes with the gouging, but it's risky. The swiping is a lot more gentle if you do it right. And I'm not really doing it right because I should have this nice and, well, maybe not perfectly smooth, but at least a little bit smooth. And you know, take all the rock bits out of that by abrading it. Sometimes you can hear it scratch a rock bit, a bit of rock as you're doing it, but I don't hear any scratchings. So that's good. And if it gets really pitted, it'll grab too much of the edge and it won't slide very well. That's okay with tough stuff, but with delicate stuff, you don't want it to be pulling on it because it'll snap the whole thing. All right, let's see if that's going to be better. Yeah, nice. Yeah, see that scoop out? That happens with the high quality stuff. It really likes to flake, but sometimes it likes it too much. All right, so it doesn't really seem like it's sliding, does it? But you can see the impact is a smear along the top here. So I probably should be hitting more in the middle, but it just seems a little bit drastic. So I hit the top part, but it's a smear instead of a dent when you're swiping it. It really is a good technique. And no, I didn't come up with it. It's one of the old methods that guys use. A lot of the natural tool nappers use it intuitively. With hammerstone. But hammerstone is very versatile. You can get a gouging flake or a swiping flake. And sometimes it it is a combination or a hybrid strike, so it may slide just very little, but I'm trying to slide it a lot so I can just peel off flakes. Hopefully. I've done a lot of percussion, but I'm still very careful with it. And I'll miss a lot because, one, these reader glasses mess up my depth perception a little bit, and number two, I'm erring on the side of caution. I really don't want to hit too hard. So yeah, I got a lot to do. So I prepare by making a lot of bifaces. Stash them up. That way at the last minute, at least I have some bifaces ready to go. And I don't have to start from scratch. Because I'm in the zone, you know, doing notchings or serrations and all that. If I have to go back to bifacing, it's a different mindset, and it kind of messes me up. I'll forget how to biface, basically. You know what I mean? I won't forget entirely, but it messes me up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I've got the fan turned off and all the bugs are crowding around the lamp. This is 5 inches long. When I have the fan on, it blows the bugs away, but the fan is really loud. Ouch. And yeah, I can use a lot of these flakes that are coming off. I don't know if that's the one. Yeah. See, that one took a bite out of the edge. I guess I can use these flakes for little points, but I'm finding that the little points, they take just as long as the big points. And if I want to sell points, it's not really worth my time to make the little ones. And I can make more actually selling small bifaces instead of small points. Just sell a box of small bifaces. And theoretically I'm supposed to get long flakes like this, but I'm not doing a good job of that. That's not too bad. But the stiff fractures, not that good. Alright, so some of this Georgetown is very nice around the cortex, but then you get into the middle and it gets tougher. So the consistency is a little bit different. So sometimes when you hit, you think you're going to remove a flake, and it only removes a small one because you're hitting on a tougher area. But this still has a good proportions to it. All right. I made us some points earlier, but they were small ones. So I'm trying to get back into this bifacing today. Yeah, some of the flakes are a little bit too small to use. So I don't use all of these down here, but I use a lot of them. Or I will use them. I used to sit and make small points. On a regular basis. Just sit down and nap small points. But I'm getting into doing this on a regular part-time basis. And I probably will do this part-time for several years. and I'll be sharing what I do and how much it can make and what's the most efficient thing to do, how I do my production work, how it may change over time. It's already becoming apparent that I'm way behind on this type of thing, because a lot of guys have already been making money as nappers for quite a while. I could just ask them what they do. But I can film my progress slowly. I can film my slow progress. I think that might be more productive as far as being able to teach this stuff. I can always refer back to one of my older videos if you have a question, or you can refer back to what did I do in the beginning, that kind of thing. I have talked to a few nappers about what they do professionally. A lot of them are into making points with jigs or flake over grind, and they can produce quite a few points that way, especially if they combine the two. Jigs combined with flake over grind, and you can even grind preforms to flute and then flake them to finish them out. You know, biface something, and then you can grind a biface smooth and then flute it and then flake over that. And there's various methods or various shortcuts to get the production up so that you can make a lot of points. It doesn't take me long to make a biface. If I could get this smoothed down quickly, maybe on a grinding wheel or a stone saw, and get this more regular, I could do some thinning flakes from the base and do some paleo types more easily, or I can do Cody types by grinding out a preform for the Cody and just do the flakes to cover it. Of course, that's cheating, right? But it does it gets the production up higher than you could normally do it. And when you're a one-man operation, you're looking for anything that can increase your production, as far as I can tell, right? I think, but there's also some guys that won't take the shortcuts, and they'll be sitting napping all day because they love napping. So there's all different types of methods. That's the smallest June bug I've ever seen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'll settle into. I know I can't be offering large pieces of stone or much stone in the future because I need it all. You know, I can't be selling stone that I need. Yeah, I don't know which works better, the more pitted side or the smoother side. This more pitted side seems to be working good. Let's see. No, okay. Yeah, the smoother side seems to be a little better. Now there's a bunch of junk in here as far as cracking. That's really bad. Really bad cracking there, but we'll see. I should have enough. I should have enough here on this side after skinning that off. Hopefully there's no big cracks in here that'll go all the way across. See, that's pretty bad. I don't know if that's caused by impact. You know, I don't know if all this chatter is impact or weathering. You know, because this comes from a quarry. A lot of these pieces that I got of Georgetown are from a quarry. And that might be machinery breakage or blasting. I don't know what that's from. Of course, it could be weathering too. I don't know. Could have been exposed to the elements. In any case, that stuff's got to be removed. I have to be careful not to blast away too much of it. I gotta take it kind of slow to conserve on material. Yeah, there's a lot of internal issues, but that's one of the reasons why I picked these pieces up, because they're defective and no one else wants them, and I can pick them up for a good price. Sometimes free, because a guy will say, I got a bunch of Georgetown, but some of it is not that great. I can't sell it. You want it? I said, yep, I want it. My van will be riding low and scraping the ground, but I'll take it. All this heavy stone in my van. Take it back up north in a land of no rocks, except for quartzite. Now, what should I do? Should I try knocking some thinning flakes off of this or wait? Should I wait and risk it? Because if I knock flakes off and that crack opens up, it'll break in half. All right, if I'm going to thin this down, I got to be very careful where I thin it. I may have to lose some of this back end, so I can trim this all off. And if I trim it off straight, you see how it takes off this back end. If I trim it down below that crack, I'm going to lose about 1 inch off of this. It's better, I guess, to lose 1 inch off the back than to try to preserve the whole length and have it snap in half. Maybe I can take a good flake off somewhere. And these mosquitoes. Anyway. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. It's risky to hit the ends when there's a crack in the middle, but oh well. I don't know. It's so tempting to take a big old flake off of that turtleback, but I may need that side. Come on. Yeah, I just want to see what was under that. It's not too bad. I hate to lose it, but if I skin off nice big flakes, I can still use the flakes. All right. Okay, so you saw what I did there, right? I want to try to get under this crack. I can still use these, especially this one here, for an arrowhead. This one maybe for a small one, but again, I don't make any money on these. Those are just for grins and giggles, the small ones. can't say I don't make any money off of those. They are worth something. Worrying about what's profitable is a whole different dynamic. And it does affect flint knapping. So if back in the day they were worried about how much value they were making with their points, you know, if they're trading points, some points are more valuable than others. It affected their flint knapping. For sure. Alright, so I'm going to take, let's see that crack starts there. So it looks like it does go to that side, so I need to get rid of this area. Yeah. I'll worry about this turtleback later. I need to skin more flakes off of this side. This face here. This side of the face. The lower end. But the best way to do it would be to hit from here on this platform, but it's not far enough to that side. I would love to take a big flake off of that now while it's still thick, but it's dicey. I need to see how far that crack goes in, because if I try to take a big flake, I might get a big one here, but it also might crack across here at the same time. So I only have, let's see, I only have 4 inches there. It's already not as big as the other one if I do that, but still good size. If it does break, hit here and take some flakes in that way. Those would be short little ones. I don't know. We'll see. I can still take a big flake off of here later. I'm gonna do, in this case, I'm gonna adjust the edge to my technique and set up a platform here for a percussion strike into that area. So this is one of the rare times I'm actually going to set up a platform. I actually set it up on the wrong side. Darn it. Let's see, what am I doing? I've got to, this is set up to hit that way. I got to set up to hit this way. I got distracted by the explanation. Let's see, I can hit there into here. Yeah, that's usable. Ouch, that hurts. That, I mean, that crack really goes through quite a ways, it seems. Yep, I gotta trim this. I hate to trim like that, but I got to trim it. There's nothing I can do really with the rest of this except skin more off. You hit that, or I can develop a platform on this side. This one is less crushed and chippy, so I'm going to take a flake across this way. I'll just take a flake right across that crack and see what happens. If it breaks, oh well. Did I get under it? I got under it on some of it. Cool. Alright, so maybe I can get under it on the other side. Trim a little more off of this. Just to get rid of some of that weight. Be careful not to put too much force into the trimming because it can crack it. That thing can expand. This crack can just expand. So, alright, so I think I can hit this now without worrying too much. We'll see. Okay, there's the end of that crack on this side. So one more good flake, perhaps. And then I can set this biface aside, assuming there's not going to be any more. I assume there's no more issues with it other than this. So I'll try to finish up the rest of this segment by getting under that crack. Now usually, I mean not usually, I've never seen a crack expand. Like hitting here, it's not going to expand this crack out more. It either breaks there or doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Question might come up, if I'm hitting other areas, is that going to get bigger? No, it usually doesn't. I mean, I've never seen it, so I'm saying usually. Because I don't know. I don't know if they expand. I've never seen it. It's either going to break there for sure, or I'll get under it without it expanding. This kind of seems okay for a platform. Yeah. Okay, so. Ooh, I just barely got under it. See that? That's just a little bit of a remnant. But that's it. That's there's no. That's just barely got under that crack. There, it doesn't continue. All right. So I'm just going to trim this up. Still got about 2 minutes. Yeah, now I can attack that turtle back without worrying too much. The only worry I have at this point is messing it up, and I'm messing up the removal of that turtle back and ending up with a big old overshot that I don't want. And now we got a hornet coming around. I'm going to turn the fan on for the next video. That wasn't a hornet, that was something else. Probably another June bug. Alright, so if I hit there, it's a little bit of a high platform, but I think I can get it. Well, let's see. Let's not take a risk. Instead of taking the opportunity, I'm going to adjust the edge to my technique. And isolate it. My technique of attacking these turtlebacks with a nice big old powerful swipe or scraping hit or whatever you want to call it, with a nice swipe downward and slightly inward. The goal is to peel that off. The platform is lower than it was before, still not probably low enough, but we'll see. hit it just right, but it didn't go. That means I need to hit a lot harder, and that's, I don't know, dicey. Very dicey. Yeah. It's very crushy on that side. I'm lowering that edge so I can create a proper platform. But you see I'm losing some width. Okay. Almost out of time. Let me just take two more swipes. Here we go. That's it. I'm not going to mess with it, and I'm out of time. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Okay.